All right, so I can see that we have audio coming through and sounds coming through. Okay. All right. So we are good to go. I did just send out a little blast to everyone who is on my email list right now. I did a little post on my Instagram story. So I'm going to give people a little minute to hop on in. So if you're catching the replay, just go ahead and fast forward about a couple of minutes before we hop into today's topic, because this is something that I have been asked for so long. And I cannot wait to put this together. I couldn't think of a better time to do it because summer is like right around the corner. It's literally less than 3 weeks away. So when I get hit up all the time around this time of year, I'm often asked, okay, well, how can I get into a routine, get into a groove? So if you have fallen out of the groove of what you've been doing, whether you have been consistent for like, maybe at one time you were working out really good for a couple of months, or maybe you were in it for a couple of years, and now all of a sudden you just can't seem to get your groove back. Today, you're going to get some nuggets to help you out so you can get it on and get it together. So as you guys are coming on in, do me a quick favor and let me know what's the longest you've been able to be consistent with working out. That's a question that I often ask anyone new who I work with, simply because I need to kind of know, all right, where have you been? What's been the longest time you've been able to do it? And then I'm often followed that question with, what happened? Most of the time, I hear so many people say things to me like, well, I started off with this plan. I was training 45 times a week. And then it just got to the point where I just couldn't keep up with it. Or I hear people say, I was doing all these different kind of workouts, didn't really quite know what I was doing, wasn't seeing the results. So I got frustrated and I got fed up with it. Or I've heard people say things like, I was going to the gym and I was lifting, I was doing cardio, I was doing the treadmill, the stairs, and I just hated every minute of it and I didn't like it, so I just stopped. So let me know if any of those kind of resonate with you, because I've heard them literally all, which is why I wanted to put together this live stream today, because I know once you're able to get into a routine that you love, that is really the missing key and the key piece for you to be able to stick with it so that it can be, one, sustainable, right? Because if you can't stick with it, it's not going to be sustainable. You might make some progress, but you're not going to maintain the results. And two, enjoyable. Okay. It has to also be enjoyable, y'all, especially if you're looking at making this a lifestyle change and not something that you just do because you're getting ready for that holiday vacation or for that event that you want to look on and pop in and snatch for, right? When you are really looking at making this a lifestyle change, your routine has to fit your how, okay? So let me know if you guys are ready to get into it, because I want to just start with sharing the most important thing that it really comes down to when doing any of this, and that is to be open, okay? So what I often see happen is this. Whenever I see someone, they're telling me things like, hey, I really want to get into a routine. I'm like, okay, tell me some things that you've done before. Normally, if you're telling me some things that you've done, you're going to have a really, really difficult time sticking with it, simply because so many of you guys run the risk and fall into this pattern of doing things that you just do not enjoy doing, right? I don't care what it may be. Like, you might have seen one of your friends lose a ton of weight doing CrossFit. Okay, you know what? Keisha lost 50 pounds doing CrossFit, got her life together. I'm going to do CrossFit too. Well, if you don't enjoy doing it, you're not going to be able to stick with it long enough to see the results that that person saw, whoever it is that you're looking at, right? So I think the first thing is you have to really be open to just different ways of doing things. And the thing is, there's no such thing as the wrong type of exercise. And I hear people say like, oh, well, I really need to get to the gym more because I need to kind of work out more. But the thing is, if you don't like going to the gym, if doing cardio on cardio machines isn't your jam, you're not going to be able to really stick with this. It's not going to be able to really work for you. So you have to be open and stop putting boundaries around what movement can be considered. So it can be anything, y'all, from walking to skating to biking. You could do jump rope, you could do swimming, you could do hiking, get activity in. But I think a lot of times we fall into thinking like, oh, okay, well, I have to go to the gym in order to do this, or I have to go running, or I have to fill in a blank with whatever, right? You don't have to do anything. As long as you're doing something that keeps your heart rate up and keeps your heart rate going and you look forward to doing it, you're going to be able to see progress. Because guess what? You're going to be more likely to stick with it as opposed to dreading it the entire time you're doing it. So kind of let me know in the comments, like, what are some things that, like, out of the box things that you just really enjoy doing that you don't normally think of when you think about, okay, getting in shape or starting to work out more or just getting some cardio in? Because normally those are the things that I recommend my clients do, simply because you're going to be far more likely to push hard on them. Because think about it, if you love to dance, right, you can put on a song, you can get you a good playlist, you can dance for so long on end and it not feel like you're working out, and it may not even feel like you're like breaking a sweat because you're having so much fun in the process. So I really want you guys to challenge yourself to think outside the box, right? For me, I've always enjoyed going to the gym. So it's a place where I happen to really enjoy going to. So I don't mind going, but I do get into moments where I just want to get like a little break, a change of scenery. So luckily I'm in Texas now, so I have year-round sun. I can go for a walk. There are tons of trails out here that I can go to. I can go for the neighborhood, just pretty much anywhere, right? But I think it really starts with you guys really thinking about, okay, what else can I do outside of the norm that I thought I had to do because so-and-so said that's the only way I had to kind of do it, right? So the second thing is, guys, to be realistic. So I think a lot of times what happens is we set really unrealistic expectations on our workouts. So my whole thing is this. If you know, okay, you want to get into a workout routine and there's only so many hours in the day, right? We've all got the same 24 hours in the day. Last time that I checked, you're going to work out sometime in the afternoon or sometime in the evening. Okay, got it. Well, if you consistently tell yourself things like, okay, well, I'm only going to work out in the morning, and you know you're not a morning person, like you're the kind of person that got 7 alarms because you keep pressing all of them and they keep snoozing and snoozing and snoozing, right? You more than likely aren't going to be the kind of person that's going to be able to do morning workouts and they actually work with your routine and work with your schedule, because that's just not your energy that you have. So you may be a person that says, okay, I need to work out on lunch, or I need to plan to work out right after I finish my work day. Like, with what time of day are you going to have the most energy? Because if you're going to set this routine up, right, and you're unable to stick to it because of the time of day, you just don't really feeling it. Or maybe you tell yourself, it's like, you know what, I'm going to go work out after I finish work. You know, gym bag, workout bag's going to be right there. I'm just going to boom, hit it and get out the door. But you know, by the end of the day, you are dead dog tired. You don't feel like doing anything but walking to the couch and living your best life. Then evening workouts aren't going to be the best thing for you, right? So you got to be realistic with how you are, okay? There's no right or wrong day to kind of work out. Activity is activity. I'm from the train of thought that if you get a workout in, it's better for you to do it whenever you can get it in versus you saying, okay, I'm gonna do it in the morning and maybe only do it twice a week, if even that, right? So you gotta be realistic with a couple of things. First of all, the time of day. Are you a morning person? Are you an evening person? And the second thing you gotta be realistic about is how much time do you really have? Like, realistically ask yourself, okay, how much time, when I really look at my schedule from start to finish, how much time in a day do I really have? It may sound great for you to go and tell yourself things like, okay, you know what, I'm going to work out for 2 hours a day, and that's going to be what I want to do, right? But if you know your schedule doesn't allow for you to do that, then telling yourself you're going to work out for 2 hours a day, it's just not going to work. It's just not going to be sustainable. You're not going to be able to stick with it. Or if you might be the kind of person where you're just like, you know what, I know I can commit to 10 minutes a day. Cool, great. Knowing that, then now we can start to look at what can you get in within 10 minutes in a day, as opposed to trying to fit this unrealistic kind of like time window that you don't have. Or you might say like, okay, you know what? I have a half an hour in the morning. I have a half an hour in the evening. So for you, it might look like you're doing a half an hour walk outside in the morning, or you might be going for a half an hour swim or something like that. And in the evening, you're doing some strength training or some stretching or something else, right? But you got to get real on how much time you realistically have And what time of day are you going to be able to have that kind of time? Because your routine has to be built around like not only just how you are, but what does your lifestyle look like? And far too often, I see so many people try and build these routines with no regard to their lifestyle or no regard to your preference for working out in the morning or at night. So kind of let me know in the comments, are you a morning person? Are you an evening person? Because those things really matter when you're looking at getting into a routine that you can actually stick with. All right, y'all. So this last tip I'm going to share with you guys is something that I feel a lot of us do a really bad job at. And it's because we tend to have this, like, we tend to, one of you, but we tend to fall into these patterns where it's just like, okay, I'm going to stick to, I mapped out this plan and this plan has to go this way. And if it don't go this way, then I fail, right? And we kind of create this kind of like all or nothing kind of mentality around whatever goal it is that we're working towards. That is why I'll always tell people like, hey, even after all these things that we're talking about, I need you to be flexible, okay? Because here's reality. Here's what's real, right? Your lifestyle is going to change. There's going to be some weeks where everything is going to go smooth, you know, just as planned, no hiccups, no nothing or anything. And there's going to be other weeks where it's just like, I don't know what just happened, but the whole week, I just feel like I need to throw the whole week away, right? So you got to be really flexible in your approach to understanding that, okay, some weeks I might have to kind of change things up depending on what I have kind of going on. And I feel like when we start to tie ourselves into only doing things one way and only doing it kind of the way we mapped out in our head, we close the door off to seeing like, oh, okay, well, you know what? I still can have a good week. Even though it's Thursday, I haven't worked out yet. I still got Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I can get a 30-minute workout in on those days. And that's so much better than telling yourself, you know what, I'm just going to say to heck with it, skip it and start over again next week. Okay. So I really want you guys to think about like when you are flexible, how much less pressure you feel to be perfect. Because I see so many of you guys fall into this pattern and trap of feeling like if I don't do things at perfection at 100%, then that means I failed. And that can cause you to feel like, well, why bother? Because I can't stick anyway. I can't seem to get it together. I can't seem to get these things going or anything like that. So I really think that a lot of times what happens is when you are flexible with things, you are able to then have a different just approach and you're a lot more forgiving yourself, right? And that's where one of my clients, Michelle, was before she joined because she was really struggling with just sticking to the basics. And when I say sticking to the basics, like she wasn't able to even do cardio more than like 2 or 3 times a week. And she was doing kind of random kind of work here and there because she had 10 minutes on one day, maybe an hour on the next day. And it kind of left her feeling like nothing was going to really stick for her. And what we started to do when we first sat down was, okay, let's get really clear. What do you actually enjoy doing? Right. And she was just like, well, actually, you know what? I really enjoy doing yoga first thing in the morning. I'm like, okay, cool, great. Let's make that be the first thing that you do in the morning. And then we started saying, okay, well, how much more time do you have in the day to do something else? Well, actually, you know what? I have 20 minutes around my lunch break. I can get in a little walk then. Okay, cool. Well, let's just do yoga in the morning, 20 minutes, around your lunch break, and then go from there. And before she knew it, she was starting to be consistent with a workout routine that naturally fit into her lifestyle. And it didn't feel like she was trying to fit like this square peg into a round hole, and it just kind of flowed. And the next thing you know, she totally rocked it out in the challenge, y'all. And what she was able to do in just that amount of time was to create a routine that not only did she look forward to, but it left her feeling really good. Like she had more energy when she woke up in the morning, because now once you get into a routine, your body gets used to it, right? So it starts to perform better. Everything gets a lot more efficient. You sleep better. Your metabolism is faster. And when that happens, you're able to lose more inches. You're able to lose stubborn fat that you've been trying to get rid of, right? Your sleep is better. When your sleep is better, guess what? You have less craving spikes. Yes, your sleep your cravings, all those kind of like hunger pains that you have throughout the day can be all tied to lack of sleep. So sleep is important, you guys. You got to think about like the bigger picture of your routine and what it can really do for you. It's so much more than just getting into like a workout groove, right? It also goes into creating habits that are going to be able to set you up for long-term success. And then when that starts to happen, you feel so confident. So if those are all things that you have been struggling in and you're just been listening to, it's like, you know what, I need to get this whole thing together. I need to start loving how I feel again. I need to get into a groove. Then I want you guys to check out my 21-day Snatch Waist Challenge. It is available for you guys to register today. So inside this challenge, you are going to get access to a full 21-day workout calendar. I have full guided workout videos that can be done in 20 minutes or less, because I already know the deal. When you are struggling to get into a routine, it's going to be really challenging for you to go and say, okay, I'm going to commit to this workout program where I got to work out 30 minutes to 45 minutes to 60 minutes a day, right? That's just, I mean, yes, you can work up to that. But when you're first starting off, it really needs to be a more gradual kind of thing. And that's what you're going to get when you sign up for the challenge. And also you're going to get little mini daily tasks to keep your goals top of mind, to really reinforce all these habits and all these kind of shifts and changes that I'm telling you that Michelle made when she saw her progress and her journey, and the ones that you're going to have to make if this is really what you want to do to make a lifestyle change. So you guys, you can go ahead and check out the link. I did post it here. If you have other questions about it, you guys all know how to reach me. So yeah, let me know in the comments, which of these tips are you going to put into place to begin building a routine you love? Because what I have seen time and time again when it comes to so many women that I've worked with over the decade plus that I've been doing this is you have got to 100% be open to so many different ways of getting activity in. And it may look like your cardio is you doing it with a girlfriend, or you're doing it with your significant other, or maybe you guys are going for walks after dinner or something like that. Or, you know, it may look like you're going swimming, or it may look like, you know what, I really enjoy dancing. So you get you a good playlist and you just start rocking it out like in your living room, right? The second thing to remember, you guys, is to be realistic. Like, y'all, this journey really requires you to keep it 100 and be really honest with yourself. And if you're not realistic with how much time you have to work out, or what time of day are you going to have the most energy, and what can you realistically stick to given your lifestyle, you're going to be fighting an uphill battle over and over and over again anytime you try and get consistent with anything, all right? And last but not least, y'all, you have got to be flexible and understand that, right, this is a journey. It's not going to be a clear-cut path, right? Just because you start off doing something 1 week or 1 month, it may not look like that the next week or the next month, but just really be open to understanding, like, okay, as you grow and change, your schedule changes, or whatever life throws at you, your routine will have to also kind of flex to fit into that. So you don't have to feel like every time life throws something your way, oh, there I go again, I've fallen off the wagon and I can't get it back on. So again, guys, if these are all things that you want to get a really good foundation in, then make sure you check out my 21-day Snatch Waist Challenge. It is available for you guys to register in today so that you can start building a routine that you are going to love and be consistent with, and that you're going to be able to maintain, all right, to see those results. So as always, you guys, thank you so much for checking me out today. I am always up for other topics that you guys want me to cover. So I think in another live stream I did a couple of weeks ago, someone mentioned supplements. So next week's live stream is going to be all around supplements that you need to have in your routine, and I'm really looking forward to sharing that one with you guys. So if you have other topic suggestions or things to cover, please take a little minute to comment down below. Let me know. And also don't forget to like and subscribe while you are here, and I'll see you guys